Welcome to GabTalks, where we provide tools, tips, and techniques to help your life and business be easier, better, and faster. Well, hello, everybody. I am Gabriella, and I want to say a giant thank you for joining us today for this inaugural launch of GabTalks Success Tips from Experts. I started this podcast. In fact, I wrote it out by hand back in 2018 at the suggestion of somebody who was a client of ours. And here we are. I know it's taken quite a bit of time to get it launched and off the ground, but here we are. The idea for this podcast is that I have conversations with people who are experts. And the concept is it doesn't matter what it is that makes you an expert. There is a common thread and a common theme that runs among all experts that every single one of you can take benefit from to help you become that much closer to being an expert in whatever it is that you decide and choose that you want to be an expert in. Frequently, these conversations are around business, but not exclusively. So I have spent the last 6 years building a business, building a network, growing these amazing friendships with people that I have gotten to know. And when I made the decision to finally get this thing launched, I put all this content together and I started reaching out to people I knew. And when I was going through the list of names of people who had said, yeah, absolutely, interview me, I came across my good friend Alexei's name, and I was like, ding, ding, I know who's going to be our very first guest. Alexei and I met, gosh, over a year ago, and literally on the very first day we met, we were at a networking event. We walked across the street and had dinner afterwards, and we just kept on talking, and we became like brother and sister friends almost instantly. We talk regularly. He has given me tons and tons of guidance. He has given me business concepts. He has given me encouragement. And if you understand the concept that GabTalks is all about mindset matters, having the right mindset to get to that place of success is very critical in the underlying foundation for reaching success as an expert. Alexei has been huge in helping me get my mindset to where it needed to be so that we could get this thing off the ground. So I just am absolutely delighted, excited, and thrilled to have you here as our very first inaugural guest on the GabTalks Success Tips from Experts podcast. I hope that wasn't too much build-up, you guys. How's it going, Alexei?
Well, Gabriella, it is a pleasure and honor to be your first guest and to be able to add not only value to you, but to your amazing audience.
Thank you so much. Yes, you guys, we are going to have a really great little conversation here today. And you guys are going to wind up getting so much value because I know that I do every single time I talk to Alexei. So let's just jump right in and ask our first question. Alexei, will you share with our audience what it is that you are an expert in?
Sure, Gabriella. Well, after starting, scaling, and sustaining an 18-year-old business, I've learned just a few things about business. So now I help others either to turn their businesses around or help them scale.
Absolutely. So in order to be able to do that, you have to have gotten experience of your own somewhere that got you to here. Will you share with our audience what it is, your background that got you to be the expert that you are?
You know, it's a story like anybody has. And I didn't start from very wealthy beginnings. I actually started from very humble beginnings. But through the hard work of my mother, I was able to be born in Ukraine, live in Moscow, then go to school in South Africa, and then finish my education in the United States. While I was finishing my education in the United States, I had a couple of small businesses that made me some pocket money. But it wasn't until my mom asked me to partner with her in a new venture that it really changed my life in years of experience working with her, but then also creating my own success by connecting and being mentored by some of the best people that I knew at that time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so one of the things that you and I talk about as well is when you reached a certain level of success in your 20s, you had hit a wall, and then you shifted and said, oh my gosh, I need to like get out of this place because here I'm in my 20s and I've already reached the height of success. Something's got to change. So, will you tell us just a little bit about that? And then I'm going to ask you about your influences.
Sure, you're talking about my dark times. There was a period of my life where, I've reached my financial success. At least, I was making more money than most kids that I knew, or I guess young adults. I was living in a dream home. I was driving, my dream cars. I had an amazing, beautiful fiance, but there was something that was missing out of my life. And what I realized, it was purpose. I did not have a purpose for my life. And it actually took me down quite a dark road, until I ended up, diving head deep into personal development that not only fixed my mindset, as we were talking about, but it actually gave me an inspiration and a way, to really not only help myself, but to help others. And that's what I loved about my journey into personal development. And I decided to be a part of it and pay it forward, just like the mentors that paid it forward to me. I'm doing the same now for others.
Absolutely. And the thing is, the reason I wanted you to share that is because pretty much every single person who is an entrepreneur, is a business owner, is a leader in their company, winds up going through that yo-yo of up and down and dark experiences. And personal development, mindset matters, is a critical piece of getting to out of the dark place and into whatever is the next endeavor that helps lift you up. And the reality is, we go up and down all the time, daily, weekly, monthly. And it's how you're able to get out of those places that get you to success. So I'm kind of jumping ahead in the whole success tips part of this conversation, but that's okay. I would like you to share right now about your influences. So you and I spoke before this, and I know that there are some people in the digital space, some mentors that were really, really critical to you to reach success and had a great deal of influence on you. Will you share that with our audience?
Sure. The truth is, after going through a lot of failures, successes, and somewhere in between, I realized that the most successful people that I knew, they are successful by themselves, but not without help. And that's where I realized that I potentially needed some help to get through my blocks that I did not see. Because if I don't know the path, it's hard to see the potholes. And so, for example, there's so many people that I can mention, like Denny Johnson and Mike Dillard, who were pivotal in my growth. I would say the person that stands out the most is actually Joe Bauer. Joe Bauer allowed me to really understand that I could be just me, share my truth, share my heart, and help people as a result of it. I didn't have to be somebody else. I didn't have to be another sales guru or a guru. I can just share my truth and get compensated for it while helping people do better in their lives.
That is amazing. And I am one of the beneficiaries of that for sure. Hello, hello, awesome listener. Thank you so much for joining us today at GabTalks Success Tips from Experts. We're going to take a short break and take a moment to thank our sponsors. It is because of their generous support that we are able to bring to you all of these amazing experts, where we're able to interview them and get their best success tips for you. So please take a listen to what our sponsors have to say. Global Prosperity Academy, GPA, is a community of like-minded individuals that are heart-centered and mission-driven, focusing on high-level communication training, leadership development, and strategic community building. Take a look at the video in the link below and see how GPA is right for you. You've all heard and you know how powerful it is to send thank you cards, notes of appreciation, and gifts that build and maintain relationships. However, Writing and sending generic impersonal greetings and gifts one by one just is so overwhelming and takes so much time. Not to mention, these days, who wants to deal with lines at the post office, running out of stamps, or having to print stamps yourself? And then there's the embarrassment of missing an important date altogether. Yikes. So what can you do? If you go to marketyourbiz.guru, you will be able to get help with your greetings and gifts that are printed, stamped, stuffed, and mailed automatically for you. Make sure that you tell them Gabriella sent you. So I'm going to ask you now, if you were to go back to that young self of yours when you were just starting out, when your mom said, here, go build this piece of software and go into business with me, or one of our younger audience members that is just starting out and would like to reach a level of success, maybe a little bit faster, or tell them to not give up, what one tip would you give?
It's kind of funny that you're asking me the question, and I'll tell you why. Because my original brand, that the consulting company that I own and I'm scaling now, is actually called One Relationship Away. But it actually started as a foundation of If I Were 18 Again. It was the advice that I wished I knew at 18. If I had to only pick one piece of advice, this is something that I talk to my clients all the time about, that people do not choose their future. They decide their environment, and their environment will decide their future. And so when it comes to an 18-year-old that's watching or listening to us right now, I want you to really think about, what is it that you're trying to get out of life? What is that dream or goal that you're going after? And the next biggest critical thing is get into the environment that will support that, right? Find somebody that's already doing that, and go and help them, be around them, because they will give you gifts and knowledge that otherwise would take you years, if not decades, to learn otherwise.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just give the floor to you and ask you to share with our audience your best tips towards success. I know a bunch of them because I get to learn from you all the time. I would like our audience to receive the same benefit that I get to receive from you by hearing your best tips.
You know what? It will be my pleasure. The truth is, my company is called One Relationship Away. And that's really the piece of training that I would love to share with your audience today, is that I truly believe that we're just one relationship away from the life of our dreams, or the impact we can create in the world. So the three words that really changed my life when it comes to this concept is connect, create, and collaborate. Let me elaborate just a little bit on that, so that you can actually have actionable advice, and it's not just a bunch of sound bites. When it comes to connecting, I talk about connect authentically, right? Make sure that you're not selling the person, but you're actually just learning who they are. Because once they know who you are and they know how much you care, the likelihood of you doing business is dramatically increased. And one of the simplest tips that I learned years ago is taking a 3x5 card, writing smile on it, photocopying that card, and actually putting it in every doorway of whether your office or maybe even your home, because that is a physical anchor that will invite you to smile and remind you again to smile every time you walk through the door. That will authentically allow you to smile in the future when you walk into the room. When it comes to creating, I talk about create massive value. Don't ask first, give first, be friends first. I actually talk about connect with your heart, not with your business. Because if you connect with your business or an opportunity, the likelihood if the person is successful, they know at least a couple of people that actually does what you do. So what makes you different? If you don't connect with them through your heart, the things that matter to you, the rest of it won't matter. And the easiest way to do that, create clarity around your passion and share that first. That's an easy way to create value, and then listen to what is it they're passionate about. And then see if there's a way you can A, create a connection for them, B, you can help them achieve that goal or result, or C, you can be their champion. And last but not least, I talk about collaborating powerfully. And this is where you allow the person to do what they do best while rewarding them for that action. For example, if somebody shares, whether about your business or service, please reward them, because what's rewarded is repeated. And when you collaborate powerfully, create a win-win situation where not only the person that you're having a conversation wins, but maybe even their clients. See, that is the exact way, and the three words that I use to connect with Gary Vee, right? It is somebody who I've always admired, and I never thought that I would actually get him to meet myself. But maybe that's a bonus tip. Never put limitations on your dreams. Because if I would have put limitations on my dreams, I would have never got to meet Gary Vee, got a chance to have a conversation with him, and realize that he was just a regular person, just like you and I, and an amazing business owner and entrepreneur. So just by using those tips, you can start taking your first steps to creating that amazing network, that environment that you will thrive in, and you'll be just one relationship closer to the life of your dreams, or the impact that you want to create in the world.
So you guys, now you can see exactly why it was that I said it has to be Alexei here on our very first episode. You have some amazing actionable tips that you can walk away and go put into place right now. Now, if you want to reach out to Alexei and find out how you can learn more from him directly and be able to work with him, we'll put some links down below for you to be able to reach out to him. Alexei, will you share with our audience where it is that you're going to direct them to reach out to you?
And especially for your audience, if they just go to my website, there's going to be free gifts, amazing bonuses, and special private trainings just for them as my way of paying it forward. All they have to do is just go to networkandgrowrich.com.
Awesome. So you guys, the link will be down below. And just like Alexei said, there are some free gifts there. I know that there's a book that he wrote that you'll have access to, and there's some other actionable things that you can click on that will help you get that much closer to success. Because as Alexei says, all you are is one relationship away. Alexei, thank you so much for being our first guest on the GabTalks Success Tips from Experts podcast. I am just over the moon, and I am so excited that we are getting this launched. And you guys, make sure that you click the reminder button so that you get notified when the next episode is going to air. Don't forget to subscribe. We have a bunch of content already lined up, getting ready to bring it to you. We will be airing twice a week, and you'll be able to reach us both on video and audio. So make sure that you join us next time. Hey, thanks so much for watching. We hope you got value today. We want to give a huge shout out of gratitude to our contributors. Please make sure you click the subscribe button below, and don't forget to click the bell up above to get reminders when we add new content.